This video will show you how to search statutes with terms and connectors and how to combine terms and connectors with field restrictors. Now, what terms and connectors do is show the relationship of words. They're best used when you're searching for cases or secondary sources, but if you use them carefully, they can be very helpful for searching statutory law, especially when you use the field restrictors. Now, when we get to case law, I'm going to go a lot more into depth on terms and connectors. So if you feel like this is being glossed over here, it is, because I'm just trying to give you a little basics. But I strongly urge you not to try to use terms and connectors to search statutes unless you use a field restrictor, preferably for the text, the TE field restrictor. Now, what do I mean by terms and connectors show the relationships of words? Well, you think of the words that are most likely to apply to the problem you're researching. So, for example, if you're trying to find a statute that's about mail fraud, there's a number of ways you could go about asking Westlaw to search for that. And here are some of the relationships. There are some more, but I'm going to save those for cases. Now, the terms part are the words, mail and fraud. The connectors part is the part in the middle, and, or, /s, which means within the same sentence, /p, means within the same paragraph. And then if you want to search it as a phrase, mail fraud, you put it in quotation marks. So here you'll see that if I search for mail and fraud, I'm going to find every document in whatever database I'm searching that has both the word mail and the word fraud in it. If I search for mail or fraud, every document that has the word mail and every document that has the word fraud, because it's looking for any document that has either of those words. If I'm looking for mail/s fraud, it's going to find every document where the word mail is in the same sentence as fraud, and it doesn't have to be in any particular order with that connector. /p means mail will be within the same paragraph as the word fraud, in no particular order with that connector. And finally, it'll look for documents that only have the precise term mail fraud in them. Now, over on the right, you can see where I've combined them with field restrictor for the text. So if I type TE, parentheses, mail and fraud, close parentheses, I'm going to find just those documents that in the text of the statute have both the word mail and the word fraud in them, and so forth down the list. For or, I have demonstrated it two ways, because when using terms, when doing a terms and connector search on Westlaw, Westlaw treats a blank space as the word or. Now, it doesn't do this when you're doing natural language searching, but it does when you're doing terms and connector searching. And if you use a field restrictor, Westlaw is automatically going to do a terms and connector search. So if you type mail or fraud, it's the same thing as mail space fraud. Notice it doesn't have quote marks around it, so it's not going to look for the phrase mail fraud. It's going to look for mail or fraud. Now I'm going to do a quick demonstration just showing you the difference in the results when I do a field restricted terms and connector search for mail and fraud versus mail or fraud. As I said, I'm going to go into a lot more detail when we go into cases. This is just a little intro to get you started. I'm going to do a very simple demonstration here. I will do a lot more demonstration of terms and connectors when we get to case law. So here I am in California statutes. I'm just going to do a field restrictor search to text and then search for mail and fraud. I click search, and you'll see I have 93 results. But now I'm going to change that and make it, again, a field restrictor to text, mail or fraud, run the search, and you see I get 5,159. So it seems counterintuitive that and is a smaller group than or, because what Westlaw searched for here was any statute that had either the word mail or the word fraud in it. When I searched and, it looked for documents that had both mail and fraud in the text, and that's why it was a smaller sample.